So dramatic developments just a short while ago. Owen, I want to start with you. There were going to be talks in Istanbul, then they were moved to Oman, and now it appears they are off the table. This is a huge development for the region.
Potentially huge development, Benita, if it stands. But look, again, just to take our viewers a step back, again, what was at issue is not only the site of the talks, but also the who of the talks. Would other countries from the region be involved, or would it only be the Iran and the United States? And most importantly, Benita, the scope of the talks, the what of the talks. Both sides agreed that the talks would be about the nuclear program, but from the Iranian perspective, that would be it. From the United States perspective, and for that matter, from the Israeli perspective, the talks would be about the nuclear program, but also Iran's ballistic missiles. We saw the impact of those missiles, of course, during the 12-day war last June, and Iran's support for regional proxies. The Iranian position has always been they will only talk about the nuclear program. The ballistic missiles are their own business for their own defense, and the proxies is their own regional security policy. So those are off the table. Now the United States, the Trump administration, reportedly in an act of real brinkmanship, coming back and saying, if that's the situation, then we will not talk. And the talks are now off. All of that said, Benita, we have to remember this is brinkmanship. This is Donald Trump. This is the art of the deal. This well could be posturing ahead of talks that could still happen on both sides, of course, on the Iranian side and on the United States side. May well not be the last word. But Trump administration officials are telling our sister Hebrew channel, and not only our sister Hebrew channel, but media outlets around the world, that Donald Trump's inclination now is more toward war than it is toward peace. But again, Benita, think about this in the big picture as part of brinkmanship and talks. But again, at a minimum, it shows that Trump is serious about these talks, including not only the nuclear program, but also the missiles and the proxies. That will be welcome news in Jerusalem, where the ballistic missile program in particular is now becoming a huge and urgent priority.
And Amichai Stein from our sister Hebrew channel confirming as well that these talks for Oman are now not happening. If we look at the wording of Marco Rubio just earlier on in the day, Jonathan, he said the U.S. is ready to meet with Iran this week, but discussions need to cover its missile and nuclear programs, its support for terror groups, and its treatment of its population. At the same time, Donald Trump made it clear if the talks don't happen, if there isn't an outcome, strikes could well happen.
Again, this on paper, this is only between the United States and Iran, right? Probably not, because the wording that you just said is almost the same as the wording that came out of the meetings that the meeting that U.S. Envoy Steve Witkoff held here in Israel yesterday with all of the top Israeli leadership. Israel said that there are 4 main points which are the red lines for Israel. 1 is to end the uranium enrichment for Iran. 2 is take out the stockpiles already existing in Iran of enriched uranium outside of the country. That, I think, could be agreed between the United States and Israel. But then Israel insisted on 2 more points. 1 is an end, or at least severe limitations to the Iranian ballistic missile program, and an end to the Iranian financial and military support for proxies, most notably Hezbollah and the Houthis. These are things that the Iranians are saying, no. Look at your wording. You said nuclear negotiations. This is what Iran wants, nuclear negotiations. Israel is saying there are many other things that should be on the table as well. The differences here, as it seem to be the one that brought to this statement that we heard about 30 minutes ago.